Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Amanya nze Ayebale Wahida nga ndi Deputy Head Teacher Kawempe Muslem Secondary School era nga ly'essomero eritegese empaka ze tulimu ez'olwaleero eziyitiddwa Umta Super Challenge. Empaka zino empaka za debate z'amasomero ga Busiraamu ze zisoose okubaawo era Kawempe Muslem Secondary School yeziguddewo. Empaka zino zigendereddwamu okulaba nga abaana baffe be tusomesa tebakoma ku kubeera nti batuula mu bibiina ne tubasomesa ne bakwata bye bakutte, naye twagadde tukuze n'ekitone kyabwe ekyokuba nti basobola okwogera bye basomye. Tukitegeddeko nti kati curriculum yakyuka ne buli kimu kyakyuka, ebintu tebikyali bya kutuula butuuzi oba okwogera eba skill. Kati twagadde okulaba nga tukulaakulanya skill yaabwe eno ey'okwogera nga bayimiridde mu bantu. Ate si skill yokka, bingi nnyo teekeddwa mu mpaka zino. Tuyinamu amasomero ag'Obusiraamu agasukka mu 2 agazeetabyemu. Of course olw'okuba nti ze zisoose tegaweddeeyo, naye tusuubira nti mu maaso awo nga gye kinaagenda kyeyongera gajja kuba gasobola okuba nti akola ki, gajja on board. Naye nga bwe twogerera nga tulina amasomero 2, tulinawo abaana bangi nnyo ng'oggyeko okuba nti amasomero galeese abaana basukka mu 10, so tugezaho okulaba nga tukulaakulanya ekitone kyabwe kuba nti basobola okwogera n'okumanya nti mu nsi wabeerayo 2 sides of the story, nti tekibeera kimu, n'okuba nti patience, okuba nti oli bw'aba alina kyayogedde nga kyawukana n'ekikyo omugumiikiriza otya ne muba nti mukkiriziganya okuba nti mwawukanye. So tuli wano olwaleero tuguddewo omukolo guno gugenda kumala ennaku 3 nga guyindawo ne Kawempe Muslem Secondary School. Omuwanguzi okusooka kansooke neebaze abategese empaka zino, aba Umta, twebaze ne basponsa baffe, kuliko Tropical Bank, kuliko Newmans, naye nga sponsor waffe omukulu Tropical Bank tumwebaza era nga omuwanguzi amusuubiza ettu ery'amaanyi era tiimu eneewangula bagenda kuba bafuna ekirabo from Tropical Bank. Of course tebajja kugenda na kirabo kyokka era nga bwe ŋŋambye nti omwana n'anaaba tawangudde era tubagambye eno opportunity enkulu nnyo, naye ajja kuvaawo ng'alina ky'ayize mu bulamu obw'ensi eno. Olwokuba nti zitandika butandisi bingi bijja kujja, naye nga we twogerera ekyo kyekiriwo.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yenze Sekandi Jibril and the tournament director of the Umta Super Challenge. Eno arrangement oba tournament eleesa amasomero g'Obusiraamu nga naye ekigendererwa ekyali mu bino making sure that we are able to have a Muslim community that is able to debate, do public speaking, do poetry and able to write. Waliwo tournament ez'enjawulo eziriwo naye zibadde zireka nnyo Abasiraamu nga bagamba kimu nti Abasiraamu tebamanyi Luzungu, Abasiraamu tebasobola kweyogerako. So bwe twakitunulira ne tugamba tulina funa ekintu ekyaffe nga kireeta amasomero g'Obusiraamu naye nga nabo bayinza okubenefitinga bayige okwogera, how to debate, to give them different skills, because when you're debating it's like a lot of things that you get: capacity to articulate issues, capacity to defend yourself, and it heavily determines even career choices. Kubanga olaba ensi gye tulimu just si bitabo byokka, naye weetaaga n'okubaako ekintu ekirala ky'omanyi. Bw'oba obadde osoma economics, osoma entrepreneurship, tebikoma mu kitabo, weetaaga kuba omanyi bwe mba ngenda kunoonya customer mufuna ntya, naye ezo skill ozifuna ng'osobola kwogera mu bantu nga totidde. Kati bwe twakitunulira ne tugamba initiative bwet erina kubeerawo. It starts from twasooka kusomesa abasomesa batwasanga nga abamu nabo baali tebabimanyi nnyo kati ne tugamba nti bwe bafuna eyo foundation ne babitegeera kiba kituyamba nnyo okuyigiriza ba students kubanga bo bamala nnyo ebiseera bingi n'abaana baffe so ne tugamba nti bwe baba babitegedde baba bayinza okutuukirira ffe aba umta ne tubawa abantu ababimanyi ennyo ne babasomesa ne babayigiriza kyova olaba abaana we bali kuva different parts of the country naye bonna they have capacity to like debate. Some people are doing it for the first time, but it's a good experience because it gives them a background that later determines how they become. Most of them will become politicians. Abanji already bali mu politics, myself ndi mu university politics naye kyanteeka yeeyo lwakuba nti nagenda okuva mu high school nga already ndina foundation ennungi mu bintu bino kwogera luzungu ate nga kituyamba nnyo kuba kati bw'otuukanga ku university you have to get marks for presentation etc. Kati kituyamba nnyo whenever we build a young generation of Muslims that have such knowledge. This is the first edition kyakatandika mwana muto tuli mulabirira naye ng'ekigendererwa nti abeerewo myaka n'emyaka kubanga tulina amasomero g'obusiraamu mangi agataasobodde twegattako naye nga twandyagadde gonna agali mu eastern agali mu western central all parts gajje on board kubanga amasomero g'obusiraamu mangi naye abamu tebanafuna incentive. Tusuubira nti bwe balaba kino ne balaba nti amasomero gavudde eastern gavudde western Uganda ne gajja geetabe mu kino nago gayina kutwegattako kubanga be bafunamu ennyo tubayigiriza bingi abaana bafunamu bingi and it helps them kifitinga bulungi ne mu new curriculum gye basomesa kubanga naye yeetaagisa nnyo abaana abalina obusobozi okwogera okutegeera ebintu because debate was incorporated in the education system. So the intention is that it stays for many years and we are always like trying to make it better. Era neeno bweggwa tujja kubeerezaamu nga tutuukirira amasomero tubayigirize tubasomese so that inshallah the next edition abangi ababadde tebanabitegeera ate bajje nga babitegedde nnyo n'abatatwegaseeko guno omwaka basobole okujja. Nze Sekandi Jibril era nze abadde tournament director.
Manya n'eddoboozi nze mukulu Malere Sadiq nga ndi branch manager mu Tropical Bank Kawempe branch.
Atunde mu kamera.
Tuvuddeyo okuteeka ssente mu competitions zino kubanga nga Tropical Bank egimu ku miramwa gyaffe kuvaayo kuyamba amasomero n'omwana w'eggwanga lino erya Uganda. Nga philosophy yaffe bwegamba we are here for you. Tuli wano ku lw'abaana, tuli wano ku lw'enkulaakulana yaabwe nga Tropical Bank okuba nti tubakwasizaako okulaba nti bagenda maaso. Omulamwa gwa leero ogwa debate oba n'okuwandiika teguyamba buyambi mwana wabula gumuyamba okuvaayo ng'omuntu nti mu nkulaakulana y'eggwanga lino be bantu abagenda okumakinga policies be bantu abagenda okuba nga aboogezi b'eggwanga mu myaka egijja maaso. So nga Tropical Bank tuvuddeyo tubakwatireko okulaba nti eddoboozi lyabwe livaayo. Amannya n'eddoboozi mukulu Malere Sadiq, branch manager Kawempe Tropical branch.
Our esteemed adjudicators, our sponsors, Tropical Bank, and other sponsors. We have Iraj Foundation, the Dr. Newman, teachers who have moved along with our debaters, our dear debaters, on behalf of Kawempe Muslim Secondary School, our head teacher, Hajat Chibireke Zulaika, who is not here with us, on behalf of the teachers and the entire community around here, allow me to welcome you to Kawempe Muslim Secondary School for the very first and the one of its kind to host this year's Umta Super Challenge. And most importantly, we are honored and privileged, and we can now move with our shoulders so high, and we shall always boast, and history will have it that we have been the pioneer hosts of this new innovation, of this new baby, the Umta Super Challenge 2026. And not only Kawempe that we boast, these adjudicators, I believe, will also be so proud, and they will tell in future we were the first adjudicators. These teachers will also say it. And most importantly, our young debaters, please take this as a very big opportunity for you. Can you please clap for yourselves, okay? We all know this is a very new tournament. We have been to tournaments, but this is very new, and I should say our own. Allow me to thank the brains behind this. And these brains, Umta Secretariat, and the teachers that have been mentioned here, thank you so much for being so brilliant and coming up with such an idea. It has been mentioned here. There is a way people have been looking down upon us as Muslims. And in particular, I should say, let me zero to my school here. Bana Kawempe bagezi na yete basobola kwogera luzungu. But of course that has been a myth. We challenged them. We went to such a tournament in East Africa, and the Kawempe Muslim Secondary School came out as champions. Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania. So now that can be a song in the past. But Muslims can't express themselves. Of course, when we talk about Muslim schools, I would like to so much honor the non-Muslim students who are here. I know they are there. Please, thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much for joining our schools, and thank you so much for being here. So now we want to make this a song of the past, and indeed, it has now become a song of the past with this super challenge. Let me first address our dear debaters. Like I've said, you'll go in the books of history for being the pioneer debaters in the Umta Super Challenge. And that will not stop there. Me, when I talk about debaters, I'm seeing MPs of tomorrow. When we say debaters, I'm seeing lawyers. Thank you so much for taking courage. I was sharing with the Psalm 3 students, and they were like, this is my first time, and I'm scared. And you don't have to be scared. You have really taken a stride, accepting to come and stand here and say something. That is something that you should be proud of. We know after this challenge, whether you win or you lose or you shake or you can never remain the same. There is a way you feel. So thank you so much for being so courageous. It has been mentioned here, without all stakeholders, this debate would not be there. For sure, Kawempe Muslim Secondary School, I think I can also, I think it's okay if we blow our own trumpet. Maybe to bring it to your attention, for those who don't know, ahead of us we have Umta annual general meeting. You'll be going out of these gates and other guests will be coming in. And like it has been said here, it takes a lot, but as a school, we are so passionate. And I'd like to thank Umta Executive for giving us the opportunity, and it takes a lot of trust. So as a school, Kawempe Muslim, we are really happy with the Umta for choosing us. We are hosting AGM 8th and 9th. We are with the Tropical Bank. Tropical Bank, please, we are coming. Like she has said, they are very ready to support. So we expect to see you at the AGM. And it's still about Tropical Bank, our sponsors. I think I need to mention it here. Thank you so much for loving education. I don't know what happens in other sectors, but with education, we are so proud of Tropical Bank. As teachers, you reach Tropical Bank Kawempe branch there. And I think students of law parents, you have an OB, Mr. Malere Sadiq, the manager Kawempe Tropical branch. So maybe as you're going back, and in Amagali, so he's there. As you're going back, you can pass by. So this tournament has been, we have managed to put it through because of our sponsors, all stakeholders here, and our dear debaters. Someone called you our bosses. Indeed you are. We would not be here if you had not taken the courage, if you hadn't taken the guts to say, I will go, I will stand. So thank you so much. And please, like they have told you, I'm also telling you, curriculum has changed. And I'll continue thanking the people who came up with this idea. They got to know that it never stops at being in class, sitting and writing so well and scoring points. It goes beyond that. You have been encouraged to be able to express yourselves. There's when you reach a point and what can you say? There's when you have to stand for yourself. You may have the brains, you may have the ideas, but are you able to bring them out? This is now the Uganda we are seeing. This is the new curriculum. This is a skill you are developing. So as you come here, as you stay around here, please look at that. Make new friends. You're from different schools. Please try to socialize. You never know. Don't cocoon yourselves. Those from Kinawa, they're moving. No. Spread out. Make friends. The environment is very conducive, and like I've said, we are really passionate about seeing you happy, and I believe you are. If you are not, we have offices, please. So with those very few remarks, allow me to say it again. On behalf of the board of Kawempe Muslim Secondary School, the management, led by our team leader, Hajat Chibirige Zulaika, the teachers who are around here, they are here for you. Because we are now in holidays, okay? They will be at their homes, but because we have visitors, that's why they are here. And the entire community knows that we have visitors. We are really humbled. We are really passionate, and we are ready to make you happy as Muslim teachers, as Muslim students. and all other stakeholders. At this juncture, allow me to wish you the best. Allow me to let the brains talk, because it's now the battle of the brains, and you must be very glad to be part of this battle, not the battles of Puchalo. No, it's the battle of the brains. So allow me to let the battle go on, and maybe briefly to Umta, please. There are so many schools that are not here, maybe because it's the first of its kind. We hope that in the next challenge, because we have so many Muslim schools. So like our motto says, please let us go higher. Let us go higher, and let us encourage these young brains. I'm really happy when someone said they're going to make a follow-up. It will not stop here. That was very good to hear. So, as I end my remarks, please let you be very comfortable at this school. Enjoy the services as you expand on your skill. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Are we together, friends? Are we together, friends? I can't hear you. Are we together, friends? Very good. Well, my name is Zulaika Nalumu. I'm your namesake, right? Is that right? Or am I mistaken? I was told so. Anyway, I work with and for Tropical Bank Limited, and with the bank I head customer experience. Alongside with me, I came with an incredible team with our manager, Kawempe branch, Mr. Sadiq Malele. Just from the hand clap, I know you've met with him, right? He's doing a very good job, and I hope that it only gets better. Of course, we came with our content creator, who is called Boogie. He also supports the bank in terms of visibility and creating awareness about the bank. Thank you so much. Of course, we couldn't forget the marketing man himself, Mahad, the one who is taking photos and taking care of all of us from Tropical Bank. Thank you so much. Without any much further ado, we are very much delighted as Tropical Bank to be working with you today and to stand before you, and for you to even have accepted our partnership. It means quite a lot, Ma'am. So thank you so very much. We are very much honored. But just to showcase our commitment to education as Tropical Bank, because we value education. I wouldn't be working with the bank if it wasn't for education. But most importantly, the aspects you're going to be deliberating upon in the next few days, so to speak, public speaking, critical thinking, writing, poetry. I have been lucky enough to partake in these things before I actually began working. At your age, my sisters and some daughters, yeah, she's my daughter, I can tell by the age. You can be a daughter, right? So I was lucky enough to have participated in things like this, and I am telling you, in the job market, because at the end of the day we are all working to get into employment. In the job market, understand me very well when I say this, let me get your attention. It is very good to excel in school. It is very good to get good marks. But most importantly, it is key that you can demonstrate your good grades. You could be the most excelling student, but if you cannot express yourself, if you cannot write a good resume, if you cannot speak poetry, not that you would need it every other time, but if you cannot express yourself, it becomes very competitive. So I'm happy that Umta is, of course, in conjunction with Kawempe Muslim School and all the other schools that are here, have decided to partake in this exercise. Going back to Tropical Bank, to showcase our commitment, we have been proud sponsors of the Umea Solidarity Games for over 5 years. And if you hear the word Umea, of course you know. I don't want to desegregate it because it could be misunderstood. But we have proud sponsors of the Umea Solidarity Games Alongside that, we have worked with IU on the Run for a Girl Child Education. Again, that's an expression of how Tropical Bank is committed and dedicated to education, especially in the Muslim space. Not to say we are segregated like my partner has said, but we are creating a niche because we know the value that we bring as Muslims. We know the value that we bring as young men and women if we are going to develop and grow this country. Then the country needs all of you, and I highly encourage you to give it 110% while you are here. But more specifically for Tropical Bank, we have what we call bridge financing. Bridge financing is an aspect of the bank where the bank is coming out to support schools, because we know we have infrastructure challenges. Sometimes you want to put up a dormitory, you want to construct a classroom, you need to buy a school van, and so on and so forth. Tropical Bank is telling you, please come, let's work together and partner together so that we can finance you to help your school get better. But not only that, we also help the parents through our school fees loans. We also help the teachers who may need to grow their, to develop themselves through giving loans and so on and so forth. And that's just a small bit about Tropical Bank. But allow me also recognize the hard work and the effort and the dedication and the commitment and the intentionality of Umta. Thank you for being intentional in terms of having us here and in terms of promoting quality education. For me, I also part-time lecture. Please do not get this to my MD. I also part-time lecture at Uganda Management Institute, and I think a while ago, for a few head teachers that are here, we had you in a training about training of trainers for secondary school teachers in our different projects. So I'd like to recognize Umta for promoting quality education. When you mentioned that you set what they would call hard mocks, in my view as a teacher myself, I'm like, no, that is not to mock you per se. It is just to prepare you for the world outside. Where we are is very competitive. So whatever you're being faced with, it is just to prepare you to even become better citizens in the future. But also, thank you so much for being deliberate on improving the welfare of our teachers. You know, there's a notion when we were still young, I don't know if the things have changed now. When I was still young, very, very young, they would ask us, what do you want to do when you grow up? And a few of us would say teachers. But I remember I said that I wanted to become a teacher because I appreciate the efforts. I appreciate that even the MPs that you desire to be, even council, my sister there, was taught by a teacher. Even the head teachers, even the doctors, everybody goes through the hands of a teacher. So Umta, to you, thank you so much for being deliberate in improving the welfare of the teachers. And to my dear sisters, for some daughters and sons, I believe, I'd like to re-echo. I know they've spoken about why we are here, but allow me re-echo the importance of why your parents, your teachers, your sponsors, and the association Umta plus Kawempe have organized this training. It is not by mistake. Please take it very seriously. Why? Because such engagements build your confidence. Like I told you to begin with, you may not get the job because you're the best student, but you will get your job if you're a good speaker, if you can articulate your point, if you can express yourself, if you can convince me that you deserve that job. Of course, confidence should not be should not be mistaken for arrogance. There is a difference. But if you can be confident enough to express yourself, to show your desires in competing and delivering the best, this is a platform you need. For those who are going to partake in public speaking, in critical thinking, please take it very, very seriously. 1, 2, when it comes to critical thinking, my colleague has mentioned, in the workplace, we rarely use the information we got from school. For example, personally, I hated chemistry. But if you love chemistry, please go for it. And I always used to ask myself, what is chemistry going to help me with? But I loved other subjects like English. But the point that I'm making here is that in the job market, or where you're coming, where you're aspiring to become, it is less of what you learned in class, but more of what you learned in class and how you can incorporate it, how you can think critically to apply that which you got from class to the job market. So critical thinking is very important, and I'm happy that this is an aspect that Umta is also focusing on. When it comes to creativity and innovation, like I said, everything that we are doing right now, people have done it before. But as the young men and women coming in the job markets and for the future, for wherever you're going to go, you have to think innovation. And why we're arguing the case for innovation is because of the upcoming AI. Everything is almost on our fingertips. Again, for us at UMI, we have people that are writing their PhDs and their masters. Some people go on the internet, on AI, ChatGPT, they put whatever, they pick and paste. But now I hate to tell you that we can know every time you've copied and pasted from ChatGPT. So the point that I'm making is learn to be creative and innovative with the information we have, because again, AI is very important to us. Of course, we have to look at technological advancement, but think creativity, think innovative. How do I turn this concept? How do I create and innovate this concept to make it my own? And so on and so forth. Problem solving, did I speak on this one? I believe all of us encounter problems, even at school, be it with your parents, be it with your partners, for those who are married, husbands and wives. But the trick is with how well you resolve problems. So again, I'm happy that Umta has plans around this. I know of the activities that are supposed to be done during this season is debates. I used to love debating, and they used to call me, again, I went to a whole memorial school, they used to call me a very good debater. So they say it well. But the point is that as you debate, pick lessons, because the opposers, and of course I'm happy that we have beautiful educators here. Please be keen. Do not only look at the team that you're supporting, but again, look out for the concepts. Look out to learn. What is my opposer saying? What is the proposer saying? So the debates, the public speaking, and I speak more on this one, the writing, guys. For us at the bank, and I always tell people in the bank, sometimes you receive an email from someone and you're wondering, did this guy really go to school? Not in a bad way, but you're thinking, there are ways in which we write. Again, I know you're going to advance and get your masters and get your PhDs. Writing is a skill that you need. So take this opportunity and capitalize on it and improve your writing skills, of course, again with poetry and so on and so forth. I will not take much of your time, but again, a message again to you, my dear sisters, brothers and sisters, and children and daughters, is please capitalize on this platform. Take it seriously. Do not be here and you're just here to pass time. Give it the grace that it needs. Respect your elders, and inshallah, things will be better. Now, from my executive at Tropical Bank, I'm happy to inform you, ma'am, and the organizers, that my boss, the executive director, is committed to the best school receiving an enormous gift. So if you're here, please work so hard so that you can be the best school. Because I trust my ED, she's committed and she will indeed deliver. So that is all I had to share with you from Tropical Bank. I wish you the very best, and I look forward to seeing you in the nearest future, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mindsets, the existing populace of the Muslim circle into that final product that we need a Muslim student, or even a student from a Muslim school to have. The world has the following challenges. Number one, self-expression. The job market is claiming Muslim students or students who are coming from Muslim schools have a challenge with expression. That's one of the objectives of this tournament, to change that. Number two, critical thinking. The current existing job market we have today demands for an employee who can think for the company, not the boss to think for the company. The Umta Super Challenge is targeting a graduate, a Muslim graduate from a Muslim school, to go to the job market, add value to that company that is going to employ you, or create a job whose think tank is you yourself. That is one of the objectives of the Umta Super Challenge. Now, whereas I'm summarizing it up, it is not only about students. The Super Challenge started way back in the month of March. It was on 15th of March that we first had our first activity, and that was training of patrons. We had a training of patrons from multiple schools, including schools that have not turned up. We had a bigger coverage. We trained them on how to manage debate students, public speaking students, students who have skills in poetry, then giving a token of the writing skill. We train them to manage those students, pass on those skills to those students, so that we progressively follow up the Muslim student as they leave high school to the university. Now, whereas those are the objectives and then the activities we've done, we've not been alone. We have worked with a team, and I wish to request both the Umta Secretariat, in summary, and the technical committee to please stand up for recognition. We have the Umta Secretariat. I know the ED has the right to introduce them, but I have the technical committee on my side. At the Red Foundation, our main focus is to cultivate inclusive communities through empowering the youth in different areas. We do humanitarian work, mentorship programs, and interfaith collaborations. But we mostly deal in, local communities and high schools. We are very happy today to team up with Umta, the Uganda Muslim Teachers Association. It is really a privilege to have us on board as proud sponsors, because our main focus will look at, creating able leaders, but there's no way we can create able leaders when we do not look at our young youth. Today, I'll start with the students that are here. You are really privileged to have a school that has really come on board to join Umta. I do not know much about the organization, but I know most schools resisted because they never knew what you're going to bring on board today. But when I came and looked at the education panel, I think I know some of them, or many of them, but they are really credible people. They are young, but they were once seated in the same areas, same spaces that these students are seated in. We were once in the same space that they are occupying today, but they're using the privilege of what they got from the schools, to come and then still adjudicate the fellow students. So you're really privileged to have a team like this to adjudicate your schools. And I still call upon all other schools that have resisted to come on board for this. Because you see, when Umta comes on board and then says, we are looking for our Muslim schools, it's not discrimination, but it's looking for a niche where they are holding, they want to uplift the young people in their communities or their circles, because they're looking at the Muslim schools. And it's not discrimination that they're leaving out the St. Peter, I won't mention the schools, but they're leaving out the other schools, not to come on board. But many of our Muslim schools don't want to engage in such activities. And when they are called for the other debate organizations or entities, they go running. But let us build our own to see that, we bring it to the best, inshallah. So I believe Umta is going to pull up something really great, and that begins from the adjudication panel. When the adjudication panel really does what it's supposed to do, it really makes our competition a credible one. So I believe and trust for the next sessions, tournaments, we shall have more schools compared to what we have today. So congratulations for the students that are here today. Whether you come last, whether you come best, it is a lesson. It is a lesson, and I believe you get a word from the adjudicators, and they will tell you what it means to be here. Tomorrow you're going to be the future MPs. Tomorrow you're going to be the local government people that are going to occupy these spaces. So we are creating something that we believe, because I know the Umta people will be very happy to see a winner of a debate tournament in 2026, right? To be an MP of Wakiso, to be a member of parliament, to be a clerk in parliament. So we are developing something that is not actually important to us. But to you, who are going to come here and do the debate, we're talking about debate, but we have writing skills, we have poetry, we have public speaking. You know what it means. It's not easy to come up here and then, give a word. But when you are courageous enough to come and showcase what you have, is really good. And we get all the etiquettes from the schools that we occupy. I would love to take my sincere gratitude to Kawempe Muslim Secondary School. Thank you very much for honoring Umta. Please give them a round of applause. Because most schools fear the expenses that come with these things. You take such a program to them, they tell you, because they don't know that, Umta is really prepared enough to cater for these students. But I know you have put something, but also Kawempe Muslim have put a lot to make sure that this happens. Please give them the last round of applause. My last words would go to the fellow sponsors. Most of them are not here. I think they're going to join us on Tuesday, inshallah. But for Tropical Bank, thank you very much for honoring every Muslim event that comes to your table. Because, you see, most banks also don't want to join these things. But when you come and put in your money, you might be wanting to look for customers. But at the end of the day, giving in your money to support such a thing, it's really great. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best for the patrons. Thank you very much for honoring the invitation of Umta and giving in your money to be part of this. We are promising you all the best from this tournament, and you know we are going to pull out something that is really credible, that you won't have shaka in, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am calling on Tropical Bank to come and say something. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.